Well, many people think the best way to stop overspending and improve your finances is simply to cancel a credit card. But experts say doing that could actually hurt your credit score and end up causing you more harm than good. New figures show 61% of credit card holders have cancelled at least one card, but only 42% knew that it hurts your credit score. So this morning, we're uncovering the pros and cons of getting rid of the plastic and how to avoid the unintended consequences. Graham Cook from Finder is here with all the information. You've been here for ages, actually. First of all, just remind us, Graham, good morning to you, mate.
Morning,
what
Basil.
is your credit score? Why is it so important?
So your credit score is basically a number that follows you through life, and it determines the risk to a bank of lending to you via a home loan or a credit card or whatever. So it's quite important when you're applying for products like this in life. It's kind of a big thing in the US. It's less of a big thing here, but it's going to become more important in years to come.
So if you're a teenager or in your early 20s and you make some blues, like most of us have done, can it get... Do you ever get that back?
Oh yeah, you can definitely improve your credit score. So it tracks your kind of credit history over time. So as you make payments, effectively, you get these basically green ticks on your credit report.
Yeah.
So if you do make a mistake and your credit kind of score goes down, you can definitely improve it. You can check your credit score on sites such as Finder.
Yeah, one of the things I learned, which is interesting, is even if you've got a credit card and you've got a zero balance on it, but the limit is $10,000,
yeah,
that $10,000 counts against your credit score, even if it's a zero balance.
Well, so the $10,000 will count against basically any limit on your card will count as debt towards your name. So if you're applying for a home loan, for example, if you've got a couple of different credit cards, all of that added together counts as a risk of debt that you could potentially get into, and could mean you could be able to borrow less on your home loan. But having a card actually does kind of benefit you. Sometimes cancelling your card can have a negative effect on your score.
Yeah, so just to explain this point, because we've been talking a little bit about this, why is it that, I mean, most people would say, right, I cancel the credit card, there's another credit card gone, I don't have debt there, yet that can affect your score. Why? How so?
Yeah, indeed it can. So we have obviously got access to a bunch of different credit scores across the country, thousands actually, and we looked at them. And it's interesting, if you look at people who have a credit card or an active personal loan, those people tend to have a 20% higher score than people who don't. So it's about building up that credit history. If you're not doing that, that can pull your score down. So sometimes it's a good idea, though obviously you don't want to have too many cards. When we look at those scores, people have more than 2 cards, that actually pushes your score down. So there's a balance there.
So what's your advice then on cancelling a credit card the right way? There's obviously ways to go about it that are better for your overall credit score.
There is, yeah. So obviously you're going to want to pay off your balance. That's the clear one. Generally, they say you want to call your bank if you're going to cancel a card, but actually regulations have changed. You should be able to do that mostly online. But the big thing with cancelling a card is to make sure the direct debits that are associated with that card are cancelled. So we have, lots of things that are coming out regularly nowadays: Spotify, Netflix, and Fox TV, and your energy bills. Often you can forget one of those. The last time I cancelled the card, it was actually the toll, the road tolls, and I got a letter 2 weeks after the card was cancelled and had to pay more because I forgot. So my tip here is to use PayPal as an intermediary.
Yes,
because if you connect everything to PayPal, and then all you need to do is change your card on PayPal in future, and it's easier to switch between cards.
The last 2 points are interesting: standing firm and being very firm and specific on the phone or in a letter, but write a letter. Actually take the time to send that correspondence in and say, this is it, we're done, we're closed.
Well, you shouldn't have to, but if you do want to be completely certain, sending a letter is always a good idea, because you can be 100% sure, and you then a record of what you sent out. Emails also work nowadays, because you have that record there with your email.
Graham, just finally then, when it comes to the actual credit score itself, well, what's your advice on improving your credit score?
So have some sort of credit account, make those payments regularly, but the biggest thing here is to be aware of your credit score. Take responsibility for it. You can go onto sites such as finder.com.au and you can check not just your score but your whole credit report, so you can see all the accounts that are listed. You can see all those ticks when you make a payment. The worst thing is to find out that there's an issue with your score just before you need to use it, like just before you apply for a home loan. It's like your bank balance. You need to know what's there. So be aware of your score, check it, and be conscious going forward.
Big issue for a lot of people, isn't it? Graham Cook from Finder, thank you for coming in and explaining it to us.